In today's video, I'm going to share with you some ways that you can save money on your next flight. If you're new here, my name is Lori and the channel is GlobeTrotterLori. This is a teaching and learning community, and our goals are to educate, motivate, and inspire each other in all things travel related. So let's get right into these tips.
Tip number 1, don't forget about your traditional travel agents.
They can help you, especially when you're traveling with a large party, because as professionals, they're more likely to be able to get discounts. So they can save you a lot of money in that respect as a group discount rate. Also, if you have a complicated itinerary, your travel agent may be your best friend because they can think outside the box for different ways that you can have, stopovers in multiple cities, see family perhaps as you're traveling, and help you to resolve some of those complicated issues. And let's just face it, some of us are not as computer and internet savvy with doing the searches and finding the deals as we may think that we are. So think about your traditional travel agent.
Tip number 2, don't discount the discount airlines. You may have to search for your ticket on the individual airlines websites, but the price difference may be well worth it. One caveat, be sure to consider in your final price any changes to your flights, any luggage, any seat assignments that may cost extra. Tip number 3,
don't forget your online travel websites. You already know about your Expedias and your Travelocity and your Priceline, Flight Network to book cheap flights directly. But compare shopping directly from the airlines as you do this.
Tip number 4,
time your travel well. Typically, you want to book your flights 6 months in advance if you're flying domestically, 1 year if you're flying internationally. The Hopper app will tell you the best day of the week and the best time of day to fly.
For example, this search on Hopper for the cheapest flights from Charlotte, North Carolina to Lisbon, Portugal shows that the best time to travel would be end of September through January. However, if I wanted to travel sooner, late April would be cheaper than mid-May.
There are a lot of myths roaming about what is the best time of day to buy your ticket, but there's no best time of day or best day of the week to buy your ticket because ticket prices fluctuate all of the time depending on demand. So some of these tips that I'm going to tell you are going to be some ways to beat that fluctuation. So stay tuned for those, and also stay tuned because at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some bonus tips. I like even numbers, and I didn't want to go beyond the 10 tips, but I have some great bonus tips for you at the end of the video. So stick around.
But first, tip number 5.
Change your location and perform multiple searches for the same routes that you wish to fly. Let me explain how this works. Sometimes people in different countries see different rates than people in other countries, especially if perhaps you're flying within a country, you're trying to find tickets, say within 2 cities in Europe, but you're trying to book those tickets in advance from the United States. Change your location to somewhere in Europe, and you're more likely to see those discount airlines in Europe, and you're also more likely to see a more favorable rate depending on the country that your location is set to in your browser. Sometimes just refreshing your browser can even change that. People say use a VPN or incognito mode on your browser. Yes, that may help sometimes, but really the key thing is to show a different location when you're searching for those flights.
Tip number 6, when round trip seems too expensive,
try looking at one-way flights because those may be cheaper. If you can patch together 2 different airlines flights going and then returning from that location, you may find that it's a more favorable rate for you. And you may see that some of these online travel agent websites do exactly that.
Tip number 7, don't forget your affinity discounts.
If you're military, if you're a teacher, if you have USAA, if you have AAA, if you have someone who works in the travel industry and they can give you access to a buddy pass. If you have American Express, you can access American Express travel. Sam's Club, Costco, these are all different ways that you can perhaps score a cheaper ticket. Related to the last tip, the next tip is about your travel rewards cards. Quite honestly, the travel rewards cards have been devalued in my opinion. There are some that have higher value, but you also tend to pay a higher monthly fee. I will list here for you some of the ones that have the best reviews currently. They have high fees, high annual fees, up to $395, $595 per year, but there are a lot of perks that come with them that you may find worth it. So if you spend enough money, the travel reward card may be great for you, especially if you can add those miles, transfer those miles to any airline. Tip number 9, sign up for online newsletters, online email newsletters. I spoke to you before in this video about Going, formerly known as Scott's Cheap Flights. My other favorite is Travelzoo. So let me show you 2 of the most recent emails that I received from them. You can sign up for a free newsletter, and in these newsletters you get almost daily notifications of cheap flights, sometimes cheap flight, and on Travelzoo I get cheap flight and hotel bundles, sometimes just cheap hotels, and it's just for members, but it's free. So sign up for it and they'll send you the emails with all of these perks, all of these tips on how to fly cheaper.
This is an example of an email from Going regarding a fare sale to the Canary Islands in Spain. It shows that there is a discount fare sale going on for the months of November 2023 through February 2024. And it shows that you may have to pay extra for your carry-on bag, for your checked bags, I'm sorry. It shows me quite a few different airports, but I also have an elite membership that I pay for. So you can get the free membership where you have just a limited amount of airports within your vicinity. This Travelzoo newsletter shows a discounted fare sale to Barbados for 2 at a discount of more than 50%. A lot of the times, actually, the vacation packages that I'm sent through Travelzoo are for 2 people, not just 1. So the sales are quite noteworthy. So Vietnam for $8.99 for 2 people, for example, as you can see here. Costa Rica, another 50% discount there. So sometimes I choose my travel based on where there are sales.
For my international friends, some of the examples that you may see are Secret Flying, Fair Drop, Jeff's Flight Club. These are all ones that you may find in your areas. So just shop around, do a little bit of searching on the internet, and you'll find email newsletters for which you can subscribe for free. Tip number 10, reshop your flights. I can't tell you how many times people have passed up money, literally left money on the table because they did not reshop their flights. Yes, I recommended that you shop in advance, at least 6 months in most cases, a year in some cases, for your flights. But as you get closer to your flights, you should reshop those flights and see if there are any cheaper flights available, because sometimes you can easily switch your tickets, or for a very nominal fee, save yourself hundreds of dollars on a ticket. Even with your return flight, once you're already at your destination, you should reshop your flight because there may be a cheaper return flight. And now for those bonus tips that I promised you. In general, if you are more organized and you can plan ahead, then you will always save money on your flights. If you're a last minute shopper and you have to do this and you have to get there, you're going to find it harder to save money on your flight. So generally, flexibility and planning are your best friends when trying to save money. So search, as I said, on those online travel agent websites like your Expedias and your Travelocity, your Momondos. However, whenever possible, try to book directly with the airline. Find the exact itinerary that you need and then book directly with the airline, if at all possible, through their app, so that you can get notified if, again, remember in this video I talked to you about the mistake of not having the airline app. Make sure that you can book directly with the airline, because those discount travel websites sometimes do not notify you of changes to your flight, of cancellations and such. Now, your specific 2 bonus items. Use the Google Flight Explorer tab. Again, if you're flexible, this is your best friend.
Simply click on the Explore tab in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Choose your departure airport and then the duration of time that you wish to travel, and then you can see the places that you can go for that time for the cheapest amount of money, and then you can go from there.
Your second bonus tip. In this video, I talked to you about never ever checking a bag. So this will come in very handy, very, very handy for you. So use the Skiplag app or go to the Skiplag website And you can find flights that are cheaper because usually the connecting flights for some reason are cheaper than the direct nonstop flights. Well, you can find a flight that's connecting, and if you don't check your bag, perhaps there's a connection to your ultimate destination that will save you money. Now, the airlines do not like this. They do not like you getting off the plane at a connection when you're supposed to be connected to another flight to another destination. However, if for instance, you're trying to go from Nashville to Florida, from Nashville to Atlanta, and there's a flight that's going from Nashville to Orlando, but it's stopping over in Atlanta, it may be cheaper for you to take the flight that's going from Nashville to Orlando and just get off in Atlanta and grab your bag and exit the airport. So far, it's legal to do that, and it is absolutely an option that you may use if you can save some money. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new in this video. If you have some tips that you wish to share with the community, please make sure that you click in the comment section down below and share that with all the rest of us so that we may all learn something new. As always, I hope that you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. Remember to value experiences over things, because travel is the only thing you buy that really makes you richer. Ciao.